Hello everyone and welcome to episode 6. Today I made the Arboretum. I believe I'm saying that right. As you can see, it needs humus. You can make that with the composite. To make the composite, you need, the best way to make it is with 4 parts wheat and 1 part dirt for 1 composite. So basically 4 stacks of wheat and a stack of dirt will give you a stack of composite. Then you need 8 stacks of dirt around the composite, as you seen just a second ago, to make the humus. Humus is the only way to get this Arboretum thing to work, and it does take a lot. You need 4 stacks to get started and have it go for a while. You need 4 stacks of saplings, oak saplings as well to get it started, and it should start planting the humus now. Well, let's see here. There it goes. It was just taking a second. And there we go. After it's done planting the humus down, it will start putting the saplings on top. You'll start getting more saplings back than you would humus, and that's a good thing because you're okay on the seeds. That's not going to be a problem to maintain. The humus, however, you do have to keep an eye on it because it will turn into sand over time. So you do have to maintain it. Basically, this humus will lay out, and then saplings will grow on top of it, and then the trees will start automatically growing. Now, the idea behind this is I should get more out of the power that I'm going to get from the charcoal than I get in, because I'm going to use the furnaces on top from the solar turbine to create the charcoal, and then it should come back into the generators and give me power more than what it took to go in. It's a strange way of doing power conversion. I believe I will get more power out of this than using a power converter, because power converters, you lose so much whenever you do a power converter. So this is kind of just a test to see if it will give me more energy back in return. It does need a little bit of energy to get kick-started, of course, because you gotta have the energy to draw this out and get it going here. And yes, you'd almost use the very beginning requires so much at first. The kick-starting part is very, very important. You need a lot of dirt basically in order to get this going. And it's almost done here. Yeah, it looks like a tree might have already grown. I'm getting, or that was from previously whenever I was doing it manually. Yeah, seems to be good. And as you can see, it's plopping down the saplings now as well. And it's good to keep the logger off. As you can see, I have it off, and there's reasons for that. There's no reason to have the logger going whenever there's no trees yet. So to save on power even more, you don't want to just turn them both on and leave, because at the very beginning every single EU matters a lot. I mean, it's a little difficult to get EU with the way Greg Tech is at first. Okay, well, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit more here and see you guys again soon. Gonna work on getting the piping working correctly and show how different it's gonna be now with this involved. And I will be back soon.
And what happened is I played it a little bit at my job, and I didn't have the video recording software, so I'm going to go through a couple things here. The industrial grinder takes 18 standard casings and 8 reinforced casings and a water bucket in the middle. and it looks kind of like this. The other layer is actually underground. I did it this way just because it goes with everything else, and it's the only way to keep it even since it has to be in the middle, as you can see here. And this right here, the aqueous accumulator, creates infinite water if you have it set up just like this, and pretty quickly. And you can have that go into the industrial grinder and have infinite water. Now, you don't want to use infinite water on everything though. You want to use mercury cells on things like silver, copper, lead, and gold. You get so much more return out of it if you use mercury cells on those items. Mercury cells can be a little hard to get though at first, so at first I recommend only using it on copper and gold. Yeah, those two are the most important overall to use it on. And you can't just use the silver and everything else just regularly. The other one is the galena ore. I can start working on that as well now. Probably will be soon. And it will also give decent output if you do that as well. The main thing is needing all that silver to get those reflective mirrors to make the furnaces up top as effective as possible, so I can possibly have another tree farm going and get more power coming in. I have figured out a lot more For example, this is the industrial electrolyzer. I did make it the last episode. I've done quite a few things. A lot of these recipes are good. I've used so many of these recipes. The sugar is one I'm using right now, is giving me the carbon cells and water cells. Water cells I don't really need, but the carbon cells, they are becoming very helpful. They are needed for the chemical reactor, something else I made here. You use this with hydrogen cells and you will be able to get methane cells, which gives you much more output for energy that you get back from pretty much everything. You can make energy out of almost anything with GregTech. That's one of the great things about it. And I haven't really used a blaze rod one. This one's good if you need silicone cells and you have a huge amount of sand. Clay dust is one of the best to use. It's still a highly recommended one. You can just use coal dust to get the carbon cells really quickly. Ashes, there's other reasons to use ashes though. You can use it for fertilizers and all that stuff as well. The pulverized obsidian is the same thing as obsidian dust. No reason for it to be pulverized, so you get the same result. The saltpeter, you get the nitrogen gen, which is a little bit more rare, and I did get some saltpeter. I will be using this eventually. Charcoal also gives a carbon. Ender pearls gives nitrogen as well, and gives beryllium, which is one of the better ones that you'll need for fusion if you ever go down that route. And the lazurite dust gives a good output as well. The only thing that you don't really need that much is the calcium cells with the sodium and the silicon and the aluminum. All good to have. Pyrite dust, always good to just use it as soon as you can. You just get more iron out of it and get some sulfur. Sulfur does eventually become very important for the cells that you get out of it. Calcite also gives more carbon. As you can see, almost everything is important. The sodium dust or sodalite dust also gives very good output. The flint dust also gives silicone cells. The silicone cells are used mainly for your circuits, and it can be used for your fiber cables and not for your fiber cables, solar panels. You need them for the solar panels as well. So yeah, as you can see, pretty much all of this is needed. Zinc can be good too for the rolling machine. If you have an abundance of zinc, might as well use it on that. Bauxite is the only way you're going to be able to get titanium at first. It's a tiny amount, but it's probably going to end up being the way I'm going to make the matter fabricator, and I have been working towards that. You do need quite a bit of bauxite. Luckily, I've been mining it this entire time, and I have quite a bit of it. So I also get some energy return from it as well. If I use these with the carbon, I'll be getting back quite a bit of energy, which is good because this is very, very expensive to make. Tungsten dust will give me the wolfranium. That one's very good as well whenever you have fusion. The rubies are the only way to get chrome dust. Rubies are very, very important. Basically, it takes 36 ruby dust per chrome dust. Luckily, there's ways you can make ruby dust as well with redstone from industrial centrifuges, but this is the only way to get the chrome dust, and it's very important because it's the only way you can make the highly advanced things, and like highly advanced casings, the matter fabricator cable itself, the highly advanced machine blocks. It's very important. So you need lots of ruby to get started on the advanced machines. Sapphire dust just gives more aluminum, and you can turn the green sapphire into sapphire dust. Really cool thing. The emerald dust, it gives you good beryllium and silicone, but that you won't even. There's better, more effective ways to do that. I wouldn't focus on getting emerald that way. Olivine dust is good because whenever you get to the end, it's an easy way to get the magnesium, and if you ever need it. Honestly, I think this is one of the worst because you don't really need magnesium for much. It's a it's pretty useless overall. You can use the galena dust. This is one way to do it. You get 3 parts silver, 3 parts lead, and 2 parts sulfur. The main point of doing this is if you need more sulfur, basically. It's basically taking 1 part out of each to make more sulfur. And more obsidian dust, and yeah. It's, okay, yeah. That's more magnesium. These ones, I haven't really found an effective way to get these really weird ones. These dusts are made some unique way, but they don't seem to have anything too special about them. They all seem to be giving the same thing that you can get from everything else, so there doesn't seem to be a real reason to use them. There's the ashes again. Clay. I don't know why you'd want to do this, because you would literally be converting backwards what you would want to make. I do have a gas turbine too. Sulfuric acid cells. You can uncompress them to make quite a bit out of them. Might be good depending if you need energy really badly. Straight up water will give you hydrogen if you can get hot water in there straight in, which is possible. I might actually try something here. I don't know if it's actually possible to take the water from the accumulator up there and actually force it to go into here to make hydrogen. That might be a possibility to have infinite hydrogen. If that is true, that would be excellent. I'll have to give that a shot in the future. Electrolyzed water cells can be decompressed basically, and water cells can become electrolyzed water cells. Electrolyzed water cells can be important. It's actually used to create a couple of things. The centrifuge extractor, and I thought it did something else. No, I guess that's all it does now is centrifuge extractor. So that's actually not that good at all anymore. Yeah, there's the industrial electrolyzer, and a breakdown on how it's working. This gas turbine is very, very good. I mean, you can get 45 EU out of one of those, not sodium, but the methane cells. As I showed you before, the methane cells are very good. 45 KEU for just one cell is good. The thermal generator is for future use. The idea is void capsules. These things are the best thing in the game. As you can see, that's over 3 million EU from one fuel void capsule. Now I don't know how these work yet, but even for the lava it would be good too. 240 KEU for one. What I don't know is if you use these, if they disappear or you get the tube back like you do with the bucket. And like cells, you lose the cells usually. So I'm very curious about that. This will determine how good these really are, because if you get to keep the capsule, obviously getting 64 stack of that would be really nice to have, and you'd be good for quite a while. This would make it to where you don't need to go with nuclear, which is huge. I mean, that's just tremendous. I had to get 2 generators because I was getting power so fast that 1 generator wasn't enough from my tree system. And so yeah, I have quite a bit of different ways to get energy right now, which is really good. So I can compress down pretty much everything. I've been compressing down all of my main things, all the things that you have missed because of me playing at work. Yeah, and I ended up finally being able to make a 64 stack of scrap boxes, which is really good. That's going to be very nice when I get the matter fabricator. It'll give me everything I need to get started for the advanced solars. I also ended up making an advanced lap pack. This took a lot of lapis. It took, I mean, laptop crystal takes a lot. I do recommend using the sapphires for this, because that's something you don't really need. The only thing you really need is those rubies, and any way to get ruby dust, which is only done by redstone. So the advanced circuits, that's easy to get now with the silicone plate, and the electrums, you get 2 for each, for every single silicone plate and 4 electrums. So and it's pretty easy to get the glowstone and the lapis. And electric jetpack, got that as well. The main reason why I have both is because I am focusing on making the advanced electrical jetpack, and I actually have 2 of the most hardest things to make, which is this and the electric jetpack, which is cool. So it's not going to take too much more for me to get it. And as you see, if I go it back, it took a lot, because I could have used the chunk ones that you've seen, but you have to have dust, and in order to do that, you basically need silk touch in order to get the dust. So I had no other choice except for to do it that way. And I don't think it's going to take too much more. Let's see, what was it that I'm missing here? Oh yeah, I'm working on making the engine boosters right now for the advanced electric jetpack. These things take quite a bit. I mean, what you need, luckily I have these out of the way. You need 2 of these. You need 2 engine boosters, so you would need 4 heat vents, and each heat vent takes 4 iron bars, so it took quite a bit of iron bars to make those. But luckily I'm almost there, and now I have 8 chrome ingots. All I need is tungsten to start making the matter fabricator. I'm about half done with that basically. And a better way to manage the energy, looks like I'm actually full and I'm just wasting energy now. I don't even need it anymore right now. But I'm going to get started on getting some more of these things done and talk to you guys again soon.
Okay, I decided to make a little bit of a modification here. I needed to reroute the power because right now everything was relying on the main MFE, so I made another one and used 2 LV transformers on the sides of it, one that goes up top to the farm and one that goes down into the main machines. And this will help make sure that I don't get stuck in a power loop at the bottom. So that is definitely more efficient. I think that's going to be it for episode 6. I'm going to go ahead and get some things ready for episode 7. I've still got a lot planned here. I'm going to try to get to the end, kill the Ender Dragon, and get to some really cool stuff here. And this is Z signing out. See you guys later.